Hello students, welcome to Easy Chemistry. Today let us visit our kitchen pantry. There you can find these white substances. It is sugar. All of you must have seen this one, sugar, crystals of sugar. The chemical formula of a sugar is C12H22O11. 12 carbon, 22 hydrogen and 11 oxygen together makes a sugar molecule. Another thing that comes in our mind with sugar is salt, common salt, white powdery substance. All of you have seen it. What is the chemical formula of salt? It is sodium chloride, NaCl. Now, water, you need it in everyday life, a glass of water. So, what is the chemical formula of water? H2O. Another slightly sour taste thing you might have seen, many of you have seen, is vinegar. White vinegar is a colorless liquid. And what is the chemical formula of vinegar? That is acetic acid is CH3COOH. That is acetic acid or vinegar. Why I have written them separately? Because I will classify them into two types of substances. These ones with carbon are called organic substances, and these substances which do not have any carbon atom are called inorganic substances. So, organic substances are mostly those substances which are found in living organisms or in organisms which were once living, that is, they are dead now. So, these are mostly organic compounds, and carbon is the main element of an organic compound. Does that mean that we cannot actually synthesize, that is, we cannot make organic compounds at laboratory? No, we can make it. And the rest of the compounds which are not organic are called inorganic compounds. Now, this is okay. Now, let us consider some more examples. One of them is, just let me make a column here. One of them is carbon dioxide, or say carbon monoxide, or say sodium carbonate. Here you can see carbon dioxide, carbon, carbon monoxide, carbon, sodium carbonate has got carbon. So, are they organic compounds? No, they will be considered as inorganic compounds. So, most of the organic compounds we can see is there is a carbon along with a hydrogen, and it forms a carbon hydrogen covalent bond. So, in these ones we can't find any carbon and hydrogen covalent bond, and they are not produced inside in a living organisms or once living, that is dead organisms. So, these are considered as inorganic substances. Now, let me consider another example. Just take another example which is sodium bicarbonate or sodium hydrogen carbonate. Actually, sodium bicarbonate is a white powdery substance like this. This is baking soda, which is actually a constituent of baking powder that we use in making cake. This baking soda has a formula of sodium hydrogen carbonate. Let us compare this with the acetic acid one, maybe CH3COOH. I am considering this as an organic and this as an inorganic. But there is a carbon and hydrogen here. There is carbon, hydrogen here also. Let us look at the structure. How is the structure here? Carbon, O, H, O minus, Na plus. So there is no carbon hydrogen covalent bond. Here, whereas you can find 3 carbon hydrogen covalent bond along with other bonds. So you can see there is no carbon hydrogen bond, but here you can see one covalent bond, carbon hydrogen, another carbon hydrogen, another carbon hydrogen covalent bond. So this is considered as an organic compound, whereas that is an inorganic compound. How you will know the structures of these compounds? When we will learn more about organic chemistry and inorganic chemistry, we will slowly recognize which is an organic compound and which is an inorganic compound. So what was the first point? Carbon, hydrogen, covalent bond present in here, and it does not have the carbon, hydrogen covalent bond. Next one is they have mostly low melting point and boiling point, whereas they have high, inorganic compounds have high melting point and boiling point. This results in making most of the organic compounds volatile, whereas most of the inorganic compounds as non-volatile. Most of the organic compounds are soluble in non-polar solvents that is organic solvents like benzene, alcohol, whereas they are mostly soluble in polar solvents like water, and vice versa, soluble in non-polar solvents. So insoluble in, those are soluble in non-polar, insoluble in water, and those are soluble in water are insoluble in organic solvents. And as these are mostly soluble in non-polar solvents, they mostly don't form any ions, so they are bad conductors, whereas those are soluble in polar solvent forms different ions, so they are mostly good conductors. So what did we learn today? The basic difference between an organic and inorganic substance. That organic substances are mostly made of carbon, whereas inorganic substances are mostly made of other elements. Whereas organic these compounds have mostly carbon hydrogen covalent bond. Inorganic substance does not have a carbon hydrogen covalent bond. They have low melting and boiling point, as inorganic have high melting and boiling point. Low melting and boiling point means they are volatile, they can evaporate at room temperature, and high melting and boiling points means they are non-volatile, they cannot evaporate in room temperature. These organic substances are soluble in mostly organic solvents, and organic solvents are non-polar in character and they are insoluble in water. Whereas inorganic substances, most of them are soluble in water, that is polar solvents, whereas they are insoluble in non-polar solvents like organic solvents like benzene, alcohol, etc. Since they are soluble in polar solvents, they do not form ions inside the solvent, and so they are mostly bad conductors, whereas since they are soluble in polar solvents, they can form ions and they are mostly good conductors. So that is the basic difference. There are several other differences also. If you have any questions, do write in my comment box. I'll explain you there. And I have a very funny thing for you, and that is the magic of chemistry. If you have this baking soda at your home and vinegar at your home, do pour some vinegar into the baking soda and see what happens. We will read more about that in our acid-base chapters. Do write in my comment box what have you seen, your observations. Thank you for today, students. Bye.